Hey everyone, it's Jenny from Homestead Corner, and today we're going to talk a little bit about when the unprepared show up at your door. So, we all know people that just don't see what's going on in the economy and the world around us, all the different things that are happening. They just don't see it and they're not prepared. They're They are not preparing for anything. They just don't see it. And they're not going to see it for some reason. They've got their blinders on and they see today and they cannot see anything that seems to be steamrolling down the pike in front of us, barreling right at us. So when a disaster strikes, you're more than likely going to have someone show up at your door. We've got friends, family, acquaintances, people, that we barely know, and even strangers can show up at your door during a disaster. So I think it's really important to get a plan in place and to have more than one plan. If you have a plan just for economic collapse, it's going to be a little bit different than if it's a different kind of disaster. If you had a flood and that you want to look at the scope of things when disaster happens. If you are planning to share anything with anybody, help people out, anything like that, you definitely want to take the time to think about and plan out. Let's say your area is prone to floods. Well, if a flood happens, it's going to be a lot different scenario than if we had an economic collapse. If the country completely collapsed, you may not share as much. So let's say a flood happened, you're going to look at it. How big is the damage? How does it affect the people around you? Maybe your home is not affected, but other homes are all around you and stuff. Your friends and family may be affected. How long is this disaster going to last is another question you want to ask yourself. If it's a short-term disaster and it's a matter of you could help people because you'll be able to replenish your supplies after everything is taken care of, that is one thing. Some people, no matter what, their plan is if anybody shows up at their door, they're getting rid of them, they're not helping anyone. And other people are going to have a plan to jump in and help as many people as they can. And I don't think either one of those are wrong. I think it is just really important for you to have a set plan in place so when something happens, everybody in your home is on the same page. We also want to look at, different disasters, different things that can happen and may happen in our near future. You never know, and it's good to be prepared for them when the time comes. So if we had, and all of a sudden we have this huge economic collapse and people are starving all around you, this is a different kind of situation where it could go very long term. Economic collapses a lot of times are not going to be fixed in 6 months, even a year. They can last 10 or more years. And if you are preparing for something like that and you start handing out your supplies, you are going to run out. You and your family will not have enough. We need to look at all these different scenarios. What is the plan going to be and how are we going to handle it? Some people are going to give all their supplies away, and that's their choice. And then they'll be the ones starving. They'll have done all that work for nothing, unfortunately. Some people, if I had a family member that needed help and I was able to help them, I also need to look at how they are going to have input if I take them in. What can they offer and bring to the table? I can't just bring people in that can't do anything. If, I have someone I know that hunts, is a great hunter, and they do really well at it, we're going to take that into consideration, and I might pick them to come in and not someone that has no idea how to garden, how to cook, how to sew. If they have no skills, What are they going to offer? We have got to be able to work together in a family or a situation like that, in your community. You've got to be able to work together to help each other. And if you're bringing in people that offer zero skills, all they're doing is sucking down your supplies. So today I just thought that we would have this quick little chat about this. It's something that we all need to think about. It should be in our plan. We should have, we have a planner. Everything is together. Our bug out plan, our emergency numbers, all that in a binder, I think is a great idea. Easily accessible to myself and my husband. We both have copies of things in our bug out bags if we had to leave, but bugging out is really the absolute last option for survival. I mean, staying home and dealing with home is, and keeping yourself protected in a familiar place where you can survive is the best idea. But if you have to bug out, especially if you're in a city or something, you want to have those plans in place, who you can help, and be right up front with them. Ask them, if you're planning on helping someone, what can they bring to the table? What can they offer you? I mean, they need to bring something to the table. Do they have a year's supply of food they're going to bring with them? It's not something, you don't want to be letting people in that have nothing or no skill. You need to, plan to help the people that are going to help in the situation, because you do not want to be pulling extra work in a horrible disaster or something like that. Just a little chat, a little food for thought, get our brains going. We need to be prepared. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on, and you never know when disaster is going to strike. That's it for today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.